Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be trying out the UCANBE epically bright and colourful and all around fun Splashy Candies eyeshadow palette. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this palette, this is she. She has this just such a fun cover. Like, I look at this palette and I just think she's a fun time palette. She's fun, she's frivolous. This is the inside of the palette. I know that it probably gives an impression that I've already used this palette a lot, but I can really show you I have not. I will be trying the palette for the very first time on my eyes in this video. Alex got into the palette and yeah, as you can see, he definitely favoured the pressed glitter shadows that are in the middle of each of the I was going to say quads, but they're not quads, sextuplets, we'll say. Yeah, he really liked the glitter ones, just swatching them, as he's seen me do so many times before. So I've not actually tried this palette on my eyes. Have I swatched it? Yes, but I've not tried it on my eyes yet. So I am going into this half blind, I'd say. She has a little bit of a smell to her. So as I'm holding her close up to my nose, I can kind of smell it, but I don't necessarily think it's the eyeshadows. I think it's probably the glue that's been used to stick down the eyeshadows. At least that's what people always seem to say whenever I say an eyeshadow palette stinks. As you can see, this palette she's a larger palette. Previously, I have often felt a little bit intimidated by larger palettes, just because a lot of the time I feel like they're a bit pointless. You just get a lot of kind of duplicate or very similar, or when they're up on the eyelid they just look identical kind of shades. So generally I'm not really a huge fan of larger eyeshadow palettes. However, I really do like this particular one because it has been split up into like different like shade experiences. Kind of when I look at this palette, I think of it as like 6 separate mini palettes put together to create one larger palette. So I'm going to show you the swatches now, just so that you can have a little look. I may not be swatching every single shade because there's a lot of them, but I'm going to be swatching a really good variety of them to give you an idea of the shades and maybe even an idea of, you know, the texture and the quality of the shadows. So I'm going to put that footage in now so that you can have a little look. Okay, so now that you've seen the swatches, I'm just going to get stuck in with trying out this palette. I think I'm going to go in with this beautiful yellow shade that, yes, it does have a little bit of glitter on it, so that's great. But I'll just try and pop that back in there. Oh, I can't. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the yellow because I'm feeling quite yellow today. I don't know how I know that, but I am. I am going to go in with a big fluffy brush today just because I want to make sure that I get this yellow everywhere. What's that? Can you see that? Why do I not have any foundation just on my forehead, like right there? Am I imagining it? This is what the yellow looks like on the end of my brush. I'm just going to tap out. So you will see I am using tapping motions first off, just to get this shadow down, because she is, you know, yellow, a very light shade. I believe that if you just go straight in and blend, you're not going to get the most colour payoff. So I'm tapping, but actually, you know, when I blend, actually she's looking good. Can you see? She's looking good, but it definitely is a tip. If you're using very light coloured shades, if you go in with the tapping motion first, you will definitely get the most colour payoff and you just won't have to spend as long working on the look. Do you know what? This is actually looking really good. Blending out nicely. We actually have a very agreeable pigmentation, which I'm liking. Okay, so there we go. Like, you can see it from up front, and you can see her from back here, which that's great. Okay, so next I am going to go in with this beautiful coral shade, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease, and I'm hoping that I can create a little bit of like a sunset eye situation by blending her nicely into the yellow. And I am going to go in with a smaller brush for this. So this is what she looks like upon my brush. I'm just going to tap tap tap. Okay, so I am really liking the look of this shade. It is actually coming off more orange, I would say, on the lid once I've kind of blended her out. So yeah, she's definitely more orange than coral. She's working really nicely with the yellow, and yeah, she's a lot more pigmented than I thought. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with a fluffy blending brush, and I've not got any product on this. I'm just going to use this to blend the orange and the yellow shadows together, just to make sure that they have a nice, joyful, seamless blend. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with this brown shade down here. This is not just a matte brown, it actually looks to have little silver glitters in there. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm going to be popping this on the outer V and also on the inner V, because I'm thinking I'm going to create a sassy spotlight eye today. Okay, so this is what that shadow looks like on my brush. You can see the little sparkles of the glitter just at the top there. I know that with these glitter infused matte shadows, a lot of the time the glitter will just disappear, so it kind of is a bit pointless in a way, but I think the idea is nice. Like now I can actually see, I don't know if you can, but I can definitely see some glitters that are kind of hanging on in there. Love the shade. I think it's holding its own amongst the orange and the yellow, and I think it's just looking very autumnal. I also think it is going on beautifully, blending seamlessly, and I think the pigmentation is good. And you know what I might do actually, once I've applied this and got it into position where I want it to be, I may go in with a wet brush just to pick up some more of the shadow, so that hopefully it may leave a little bit more of its glittery goodness, you know, in position. Okay, so this is what the eyes are looking like. I've added in the brown on the inner and outer corner, and next I'm going to go in with the same brown under the eye, but I'm going to leave a gap in the middle because I'm going to apply a little bit of glitter there, which will be the same shadow I apply on the middle of the eye to create the spotlight. I did just notice as I was kind of doing the other eye, the yellow is a tiny bit patchy. It's very noticeable over here, not as noticeable over here, so I'm going to try and just correct that and add a little bit more of the yellow shadow on. But so far so good. I'm liking how it's looking. I definitely do need to neaten everything up, but so far I'm loving it. So I'm going in with a different brush to apply the yellow, which I'm just kind of placing just down here, because I really just want to add a little bit of dimension and tie the top and the bottom in together. Okie dokie. Right, so next I'm going to go in with a bit of concealer. I'm not doing a cut crease, but I'm going to just be putting that on the centre of my lid, just so that we've got that even base, so that I can apply the glitter over the top. So I'll be back in one sec. Okay, so now that I've applied the concealer, and you will notice I did go quite high up, because I have just realised that when you're doing spotlight eye, you want to go high up with the concealer so it really creates that ba-bown. And I also applied a little bit of concealer in the gap down at the bottom, just to, I don't know, I thought it was the right thing to do. Okay, so now in order to make those lines between the concealer and the shadow look smooth, I am going to go in with another shadow. I'm going to go in with this one, you know, this one just here, which is more of a deeper chocolate brown. Chocolate, does that make sense? No, it's more of a chocolate brown compared to the previous brown that we've applied. Okay, so there we go. I definitely could have been a lot neater than I was, especially over here. I've definitely overstepped the boundaries. Do you know what? I'm just going to go in with more concealer here, because yeah, I went a bit overboard. Okay, right. Oh, I'm going to do some on the other side as well. Because do you know what? I might as well try to be a bit more of a perfectionist. Right, okay, so there we go. So next, I'm just going to blend this out up above because it's looking a little bit messy. Make one with this shade or... I have no idea. Okay, so on the inner corner, I'm going to go in with this Beautiful. It's kind of like a champagne kind of slash, I'd say, I don't know, it looks a little bit like rose gold. So I'm going to go in with this shade on the spotlight. And this is what that shade looks like on my finger. She looks beautiful. I am just going to go in with my finger. She feels extremely soft. I must say that I'm actually very impressed with the quality of this palette. I like the mattes and I'm liking this shimmer. Going to just pop a little bit where we have left a gap just underneath. Going to just pop some in the inner corner as well. Okay, so here we go. This is a look from far away and this is it from up close. Just going to try this lighter camel brown. I'm going to just see how that works. You know, just like to marry up, you know, these two sections here. Okay, so guys, this is the look. But I do want to just add a little bit of glitter on because I think it would be a crime not to. So I think I am going to go in with the gold because that seems to make the most sense. Okay, so there we go. I definitely prefer this with the glitter. Okay, so I'm going to go away. I'm going to do my mascara, finish off the face, and then I'll be back to give you my final thoughts on this palette. On the cheeks as a blush today, we're going to be using the Kaleidos Makeup Lo-Fi Duo Blusher in the shade Lo-Fi Peach. This is just a really flattering, universally beautiful on every skin tone. And I'm going to add a little bit of, again, the Kaleidos Makeup because I love that brand. I'm going to be using their Space Age highlighter in the shade Ray Rider, which is a really good affordable dupe of Rodeo Drive by Ofra. It's a beautiful peachy champagne gold. I'm going to be popping that on the apples of my cheeks for a bit of warm glow, and I'll pop a load on my nose as well because why not? And on the lips, I'm going to be using my favourite but also my most expensive lipstick ever. This is by NARS. It's one of their audacious lipsticks. It's in the shade Julie. I'm very sorry to say this has been discontinued because I always feel a million pounds when I wear this. But yeah, I can't find it anywhere. If you ever see this for sale, please could you let me know, please? Because I want to buy 10 of her and bankrupt myself and then have no house to live in, but at least I'll have 10 of these. Okay, so I do actually have a L'Oreal lip gloss on. But I'm just going to put this right on over the top because I can't be arsed taking the L'Oreal one off. I mean, I just can't be arsed. Okay, do you know what? I feel like, is this too peach to go with the look? Potentially. I may pop a little bit of the L'Oreal back on. Yeah, okay, in a... Yeah, I'll just pop... Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah. I should have just left the L'Oreal on because I've now wasted more of my discontinued favourite lipstick of all time. So that's great. Okay, so this is the final look. I popped on my mascara, did the lips, did the cheeks, did everything else. And yeah, I really love this look. I have to say, I have definitely been... I've been more excited about this palette than I thought I would be. We've all seen these shades before. This is nothing new. We've all seen the individual palettes, you know, that are sold separately from other brands. You know, we've seen this all before, but what we've not seen is it all coming together in the one palette. And I must say, I really like the concept of the palette, even though it's nothing unique or new. I just like the fact that you've got all these different colour stories in one palette, so that if you're going on holiday, if you were just going away for the night and you just were very indecisive, not knowing, okay, what colour story do I want to have on my eyes for Sandra's 50th birthday tomorrow? You know, you've got lots of options. So yeah, in terms of the actual concept of the palette, I really like it, and I think it would be a really good one to have in your collection, whether you've been into makeup for years or whether you're new into makeup. This would be a great gift for a niece, a nephew, a son, a daughter, an uncle, an aunt, a grandma, for anyone you may know. It'd be a great present. What I've been most impressed with, however, in this palette is the quality. I love the mattes. I found that, you know, even the yellow was actually nicely pigmented. When I blended her, like, I didn't even have to just do the tap on technique. She blended and she did retain a lot of her colour. So I was really impressed with the mattes. They blended out beautifully and they were more pigmented than I was expecting. I loved the one shimmer. I mean, I only used one shimmer, which was this beautiful rose gold one. I really liked her. She was soft, she was silky, she was creamy. She looked really metallic on the actual lid, so I really liked her. And I thought the glitter was really beautiful too. What I like about these glitters, and I think, you know, what I really examined when Alex was doing his swatching session, was that the glitters contain lots of different colours. So it's not like you've just got a purple or blue or green. The glitters contain different shades to give them this kind of multifaceted look. So for example, the blue, it has gold and green glitters. Pink has blue and purple glitters. The green has yellow and gold glitters. So I really like that multi-dimensional colourful glitter. I really like that. So anyway guys, I would definitely 100% recommend this palette. It's definitely exceeded my expectations. Anyway, I am going to wrap up this video right here. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that it's been helpful to you if you have been interested in the Splashy Candies eyeshadow palette. If you have any questions, or if, you never know, maybe I forgot to mention something which, you know, has happened in the past. If you've got any questions about the palette or just about life, you could ask me, Anwen, when do you think the pandemic will come to an end? And I'll say, I have no idea. So you could, you know, you can ask me questions that I may not know the answer, but anyway, if you want to ask me anything, feel free to do so in the comments. I hope that you have a really amazing rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.